This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Turtles of Grayskull, Donatello. Unfortunately, this is the international version of Donatello, so it's got the multilingual thing, meaning I am expecting there to not be any text in the mini comic. I got him off of Amazon along with Man-at-Arms and He-Man, and they're all international, so if I am correct and there is no text in this one, I will be returning the other two. On the back, we see Donatello with his Man-at-Arms armor attacking Beastman in a samurai armor. Kind of interesting when you consider you have Jitsu and Ninjor, who both would fit in really well with the Ninja Turtle aspect. But then again, maybe that's why they went with Beastman, was because those other two would fit in without any real modifications.
Crossing dimensions isn't so bad, not if you're Donatello and strike up a friendship with Man-at-Arms. When these two tech geniuses put their minds together, they create turtle-inspired Eternian armor to combat Krang's mutants.
The Turtles of Grayskulls continue the tradition of giving us the little bit of information that shows you what parts are supposed to come off of the body. Let's go ahead and take a look at the mini comic. We got a nice cover picture showing all four of the turtles plus Teela. That's the figure I'm really looking forward to be honest. And Man-at-Arms attacking the mutated He-Man. And I don't know. Michelangelo looks like he's actually got long hair. That's interesting. And yes, it is in fact textless. But we've got He-Man with Mossman, Ram Man, who looks like he's got some kind of weird shield on his arm, Man-at-Arms, and Roboto and Teela all in this room where they, I don't know what they're projecting. Is that supposed to be like something going on in the, yeah, I guess that's something going on in the area. And they rush off, and we see Mousejaw attacking them. The one issue I have with the Mousejaw figure being is that he comes with only one mouse and a set of legs. He is a deluxe figure. I don't know why they didn't give us a couple extra, or at least one extra, since, you know, we are seeing this big army of them here at the bottom. This also looks like it's an extra long book too, so that's cool. The artwork in here is just beautiful. But we see our heroes taking out the Mousers, and then the Nunchuck and the Ninja Turtles, based on the late 80s, early 90s cartoon, I believe it was. Looking actually pretty goofy, to be honest. But yeah, Teela looks absolutely gorgeous in here. I definitely need to get the text comics, which is why I'm going to return the other two and hopefully find the Turtles of Grayskull. Though, now that I think about it, it would be nice to get like one of each mini comic without any of the text bubbles, because you could see the pure artwork. So now we get to see our villains. The Turtles have shown up to attack Krang and Shredder. I suspect what they're actually doing is a flashback here, talking about what had happened before they ended up on Eternia. We get to see a picture of April. Teela wearing the turtle-esque armor and eating some pizza. I wonder if the turtles actually made that themselves. And she does look like she's got kind of a bird head to it. The sad thing is, I know I use the word chicken quite a lot when I talk about articulation, especially with the G.I. Joe figures, but this really does look like a chicken head. And we see Krang in a body that looks like it's designed to look like it came from a mystical world. I'm not sure why his body would be mutated, but since it's a robot, then oh well. And then we have a Skeletor, and they release the mutated He-Man. And of course, we see the wave figures on the back, which is technically a wave of heroes, even though He-Man is mutated and probably a bad guy at the moment. So now let's get to our figure. Donatello, of course, is in there with just the little plastic tabby things and not rubber bands. His weapon is very lightweight and very hollow. This honestly feels like it could break really easily. I don't like that. Donatello himself, he's got the removable shield shell on the back. Oh man. His arm armor doesn't feel like it wants to really stay in place very well on the side, though he is basically based after Man-at-Arms. Take a quick look at his shield here. So it looks like it is designed to hold his weapon. Awkwardly, I would say. However, like I said, with how this feels, I would be afraid to keep putting it in there, because this is definitely not the same plastic that they've been using on the regular MOTU figures for Origins. This is definitely a lot. It feels more fragile. Donatello himself, articulation-wise, he's got a ball joint at the head where we can spin it right and left, look up and down, cock it sideways. His helmet is attached to his head or glued to his head. And it actually looks like the helmet and the eye mask here are one piece, and then the green face, the green face is another piece. So looks like this is glued to here to give us that color variation, with a third piece being the rubber-esque bandana tail. Overall, the face sculpt looks good. I think I would have liked it, though, if the helmet could have come off all the way. The back of his harness has the two holes in it to hold the shield. Arms go up, down, spin around. It does appear like the bicep, the arm, and the forearm all look like they are original He-Man Origins pieces, where the hand, of course, is a newer piece. Though if they had designed Frogmonger a little different, they probably could have used the same hand. But the hand also spins around and has the in and out hinge to it. Donatello has a waist swivel. And of course, you can pop that off and exchange it with other MOTU figure bodies. Legs kick up about yay far, kick back about yay far, and can kick out about yay far. I don't know, that just feels, not sure, but the cod piece or the britches there do look like they're the same for all of our MOTU figures. However, I have already damaged his thigh moving it around, so that's a bit concerning, to be perfectly honest. Knee bends like so, giving us that kind of a 90-ish degree kick to it. We still have a boot cut, which is hindered a bit at the moment by the leg armor, which I'll take off. We have the hinge and the spin at the ankle. I think, well, to be perfectly honest, Man-at-Arms armor on his arm is also a pain in the ass to deal with, so I can't say it's any better or worse than Man-at-Arms' armor when it comes to that. Though the leg armor, once you get in place, seems to stay okay, as long as you're not moving it around a lot. But it also seems like it could have maybe been done better. I know it's the whole Origins aesthetic to look like the previous versions, or the vintage ones where they just used like the one strap, but still. He's got a bicep band instead of elbow pads or anything, and I'm kind of surprised that they didn't paint the bracers and even the belt here in the Ninja Turtle colors, like why they're not purple, I don't quite get. We can take the armor off, of course. Oh yeah. And this is why, oops. This is why I think they should have given us the head that didn't have the helmet, or have the helmet removable. Or they could have given us a second unhelmeted head, because we still have a pretty nice little Ninja Turtle body here without the armor. So if he had a helmetless head, we could also have probably gotten people to buy multiples of the figure so they could display them both ways, or at least psychotic people like me. Unfortunately, he does not have duplicate holes in his back shell to attach the shell shield to give him the actual more turtle aspect look when he's not wearing the armor, which I think is also kind of a bit of a fail. But then this shield handle would probably have, might not have worked at all if that had been done that way. So maybe there was some other way they could have set this up, or perhaps we could have gotten a second shield too. Or a second shell that could have gone on here without it being the shield. I mean, or I guess they could even have gone ahead and painted the back shell too, but they didn't. Of course, I think with the way the turtle hands are designed, they might almost hold stuff better though than the the MOTU Origins do. But he can hold the mace weapon pretty good. The only issue too with this is I can't see him using this thing the same way that he uses a bow staff. Because this is definitely, you know, they gave him the longer handle to mimic the bow staff, but if you've ever used one, this is super awkward going to be. That is really awful phrasing. But this would be really hard to deal with if you're trying to, you're not going to be able to do your normal bow tricks with that. And just going to throw there here, even though you can kind of get both hands on it again. Just doing that makes me afraid that the, again, that this thing could snap because of just how brittle this plastic feels to me. And I could be wrong. This could be really strong plastic and it just feels brittle to me, but I don't think so. Luckily, if I'm going to try to be getting the actual English boxes, because I also didn't have the information on the back like we normally get under the graphics, And I really would like that for Donatello, because again, I am a psychotic collector. I would like to my mind, I just had a brain fart. I'm sorry. But yeah, I want to have the other case too. I was kind of hoping I could ask one of the other toy tubers if I could get a scan of the back card and pop that up the way I normally do stuff, but I'm not sure who to ask. Ken from Retro Toy Escapades is the only one I've really been in communication with outside of, you know, comments on YouTube videos, and I didn't see anything about him having any of these yet. And I suspect that when he does finally get them, there's a chance that he might end up with the international versions as well, so. The straps on these things, though, are a lot thicker than what are on the Origins ones, too. But then again, this also doesn't have a connection there, so you actually have to kind of take the hand off if you want to put the shoulder thing on and off of him. And I wonder if that's supposed to be a thing of ooze. And I kind of wonder if maybe part of the reason why they did this on the shoulder armor, maybe this is supposed to be their improvement to the Man-at-Arms armor, so it holds better. I feel like this feels like it's upside down to me, but because it's got the handle there, so you can't really put it on here like this without it interfering with the back, so it has to go this way. But like the belt part, I mean, I guess it's not actually a belt on these ones, but it still feels like it should be all the way underneath there. Yeah, see, that just fits super awkward back there. Anyway, I think that'll conclude our look at the Turtles of Grayskull Donatello. At the very least, hopefully I can at least... Yay. I can find the text from the back of the box and read it off earlier. Just re-record that part and voice over it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. And let me know, are you planning on getting any of these Ninja Turtle ones? I like the idea, but so far I'm not that impressed with the designs. There was an artist who was working on a comic book, and forgive me because I cannot remember his name, but he had done some really beautiful designs for crossover Ninja Turtles and Masters of the Universe figures, and I would love to have seen that used for this. Anyway, peace and love.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.